Hi, for this video what I want to do is talk to you about complementary events in probability. So the complement of an event is the probability of the event not happening. So if event E were what you were talking about, so say for example that maybe event E represented drawing a heart out of a deck of cards, then anything not a heart in the deck of cards would be the complement. So the event would be anything that is contained in whatever you're looking for. The complement is everything that is not contained. There are two symbols used in different textbooks. The textbook that I currently teach from uses E prime, but you can also use tilde E to represent the complement. And both of these are read as not E. So if I were looking for the probability of it not being in the event that I was talking about, then that would be the complement. So E represents any event in a probability experiment. So all of these formulas mean the same thing. The probability of event E occurring plus the probability of its complement occurring is always equal to 1. Together, these add up to 100% of the possible outcomes. If you're looking for the probability of event E, but you know the complement, you would just do 1 minus the complement. Conversely, if you know the probability of the event occurring and you want to find it not occurring, then you would use this formula. Okay, so all three of these formulas mean the same thing. They're just different ways of writing the same information. So let's look at a couple of examples. For the first one, we want to find the probability of not rolling a 6 on a 6-sided die. So I would just write down the probability of not rolling a 6. And you can always denote this with a capital letter. Like I could have said that this was event A and this was event B. I personally would rather write out what I'm looking for so I have the context right away and I don't have to go and try to find what the event A represents. But both of them are acceptable practices in statistics. So the probability of not rolling a 6 is equal to 1 minus the probability of rolling a 6. Okay. And so we know that on a die, on a 6-sided die, that there is only 1 6 on there. So the probability of rolling a 6 would be 1/6. And so if I do 1 minus 1/6, I would get 5/6. And you can leave this as a fraction. You can convert it to a decimal or a fraction. To me, it's just easier when I have a nice simple fraction like this. I prefer to keep it as a fraction. But if it does tell you to round, then you would just do 5 divided by 6 in your calculator. Okay. Another situation where you'll sometimes see the complement show up is when they give you a frequency distribution and they tell you what the first one would be your category or what they're talking about, and then your frequency is how often that occurs. So for this one, we want to find the probability of not selecting someone ages 36 to 49. Okay, so one way you could do this is you could go through and you could add up the 156 plus the 312 plus the 195 plus the 58, but that's a lot more work. It's a lot easier to look at this group right here and say that the probability of not getting a selecting somebody age 36 to 49 is equal to 1 minus the probability of selecting someone 36 to 49. And then we could just do 1 minus, remember the probability is just how likely that event is to happen. So there were 254 people divided by the total frequency. So this, remember, means sum. So to get this number here, all I did was add all of these up. This one already gave me the information added up, but if it was not given to you, then you would just add up all this information. So we would put 254 over 975. And again, you can write this as a fraction. So this one ends up being 721 over 975. Okay. And you can plug that into your calculator. And if you plug it into your calculator, it's going to give you approximately 0.7395 or 73.95%. A lot of times you'll have to write this as a sentence, so you would just say there's approximately a 73.95% chance of not selecting someone ages 36 to 49 from this group. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there are additional topics that you would like me to cover, please let me know that as well.